when you first turn it on, you're gonna scroll down with this button all the way down. And then you're gonna hit this button, F2, to agree. Select down to agree, hit agree. To start the setup, you see you've got F1, F2, F3 up here. These are gonna be your keys to make sure you've got the settings configured correctly on here. You'll hit F1, and then you'll go down right here. You'll hit F2 to get inside this menu. And then you'll go down here to MMF for multi-mode fiber. You'll hit F2, and then you'll go to the one that says STD for standard. And then you'll hit close. So you'll press F1 again. You'll come down to this option. You'll press F2 to enter it, and you'll go down to links. And then you'll select the links, and you have two options here. You'll select the top one that says links also, and then you'll press F1 to close. All right, so then once you have that multi-mode fiber and that links setting done, you'll come back in here, you'll hit F1 again, and then you'll hit F3 for menu, and you'll go to operation settings, hit F2 to enter that. And what we have is we're going to turn on arc pause. We're going to realign after arc pause. We're going to leave that on. We're going to turn on the heater auto start, turn off add arc. So you have all those settings correct. You'll press F1 to go back again, and now we're ready to set up the splicer. So you'll need to get this bag out of your splicer kit, and it has a little Allen key inside of it. And so you'll open up this tray, and you'll have to unscrew these little Allens to get these first flat fiber placeholders out. And we're going to remove both of them. And you just keep those in your kit. And then these are the adapters that you're going to use. Well, just one of them actually. But it's the FHS-09. You'll have a few different kinds of these in your splicing kit, but FHS-09 is the one you want. And you only need the one that has the magnet holder on the right side. That's going to be the only one that you need. When you guys get your connectors, it'll come in a box like this. There will be 10 of them. And you'll have this little placeholder comes inside the connector box. So here's what a connector will look like for the fusion splicers. And we're just going to walk through as if we're doing a strand right now. So the first thing you'll do is slide this boot on. And then you'll have this heat shrink piece that you slide onto the fiber also. You'll take your strippers, strip back the fiber. Now it's important to get a good amount of length on this before you cleave it, because this cleaver, for it to catch the excess fiber, you have to have enough length. All right, get your cloth and some alcohol and clean the fiber as always. Just like with anaerobic, if you don't have alcohol, it can still be done, but if you have it, use it. So now that you have this stripped fiber, you'll open up this placeholder. It's a magnet that holds it down, and you'll put this fiber in there, and you'll basically have the tip of the fiber, the exposed fiber, will be at the top of this placeholder. And it can be a little tricky, but you get You want to get it to where it's centered in there. So then for this cleaver, if you look at the back of it, you'll always want to pull this and set it to R. And what that does is it allows the blade in here to spin. So you'll open this up after you have that set to R. You'll push this forward, and you'll open up this can, which catches the excess fiber. And then you'll put the fiber placeholder inside the cleaver like that. You'll close. You can set this down, and it shouldn't close all the way like that. Then you'll close this main lid, and you'll push this forward, and that's your cleave right there. You open this part back up, and now you have a perfect cleave right there. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. Yep. So you'll open up your splicer now, and you have 2 pins that line up with this placeholder, and it's kind of like you're just landing a plane. You want to kind of go tail down first, and then just set it in place. And you want to keep this environment as clean as possible. If you're moving on to do another step, just close it for a second. You know, try to keep dust and stuff out of there. Well, real quick on this cleaver again, the reason why you want to have that excess fiber a little longer is so that it will catch and fall into this tray. If it's too short, when you do your cleave, it could fall into these mechanical gears. You'll open this placeholder open that came with the connector. When you open these connectors, it's good to, there's like a place here where you can press down with your thumb. So very carefully, without touching the tip of that fiber, you can press down and pull that out, and that's gonna sit in there just like that. That tip should be flush with the top of this plastic placeholder. And then when you turn this over and press it down, you can kind of pull on this white dust cap, and if it doesn't spin, then you know you've got that in there. Then you'll open this back up, and you'll do the same thing. You'll kind of put that down with the back first, and then close it. And now the machine is gonna align those 2 cores, and it tells you what key to press to start. So we'll press that. It's gonna do a check, and it says press again to proceed. So we'll do that. And then that's the arc process right there. Estimated loss 0 dB. You'll press that key again. It's doing a proof test, and now we're done. So now this part is important. All right, you want to slide this heat shrink up. When you open this tray, you can open this magnetic part. You want to keep tension on this fiber. You don't want to let that splice bend as much as possible. So when you take this out, you want to keep tension, and you want to let that heat shrink slide over. If you can look real close, that heat shrink slides over the metal tip on this on the right side. Then you'll open up this the oven, and you'll set it in there. You'll set it in there centered just like that, and close it down, and it's automatically heating up now. You could already be working on your next termination. You could be stripping the next strand of fiber, getting the connector ready. So once that yellow timer is done, if you were already done with your next splice, you could open this up and put it on this cooling tray right here. If you wanted to open this up and put it on the cooling tray right there after you're done with that, after that yellow bar is done, you can. Otherwise, this red light right here is letting you know that it's still hot.
It's that way.
All right, so after you hear that beep, you can open up this oven, and now what you'll do is slide the boot up, and you'll slide that heat shrink down in there, and you'll press this down so that it looks like that. This spring needs to be flush with the boot. You'll take this plastic piece that also comes in this connector bag, and this red arrow is going to be, you're going to put it on like this, where the red arrow is pointing away from the connector, and you'll have to spin it to get it over that part where the actual tip of the connector is. And then you have 2 slots on the boot that line up with 2 tabs on this connector piece right here. So you just push that in, clicks in, and then you'll take this SC adapter, and that's it. That's your termination, and this is your dust cap. So if you take that off, that's a factory pre-polished termination right there. And put that back on if you're not using it. But that's it.